So one of you asked, what if Casca died during the eclipse? And you know what we do around here, folks, so let's talk about it. So the most obvious answer that I can think of is that the entire premise of Berserk would have gotten a lot darker, a lot simpler, and definitely way less emotional if Casca had died during the eclipse. You know, since Guts would have lost the one single person that was bound to him, that kept his sanity, kept his humanity, and kept him an actual human being in the world of Berserk. And in canon, Casca's survival is what causes Guts' conflict between vengeance and Casca's care. And yeah, he did leave her briefly in that one single period of time, but at the end of the day, the story brings them back together, because it is his duty as her man's to protect her, care for her, and also make sure that she stays alive. Not to mention, while Casca is alive, allows Guts to learn how to heal for himself emotionally, internally. And remove Casca, Guts would just end up turning into that black swordsman himself with a much lonelier perspective and not having a care in the world about what his actions are to come. And what I think is interesting is that the biggest plot point about this entire thing would actually be the demon child or the Moonlight Boy not existing at all if Casca dies. Because canonically, the child is technically Guts and Casca's unborn child, which does end up getting corrupted during the eclipse, and later transforms into Griffith's incarnate body through the Egg of the Perfect World, by the Egg of the Perfect World consuming such unborn fetus. There's a lot. If Casca were to die, then Griffith wouldn't be able to have a vessel for him to be able to transform into, so that way he could return back to the normal world. And for Guts, yes, if Casca were to die, it would push him into a far worse spiral than we already know as of now. In canon, the Beast of Darkness already tries to drive Guts away from compassion and even abusing Casca, as you can see in this scene right here. But because Casca is still alive, he still has something to protect, not just something to avenge, which makes him realize, oh I gotta stop doing what I'm doing. If Casca's dead, yeah, he can't care less as to who the heck he is going to protect. He would still hate Griffith, but the story would lose its counterweight of his emotional fragility as a man, which does keep Berserk from an entire revenge march into I'm gonna kill Griffith. Most importantly, Casca dying would change the entire premise and core of Berserk. Miura was quoted saying that he couldn't think of a long, grim story ending in a grim way. Whether or not you take that as a promise of happiness in the ending, it does fit the manga's shape. Berserk is brutal, but it keeps fighting towards restoration from all of that destruction. Casca is central for that. Her survival makes healing a part of the story's theme, and if Casca dies during the eclipse, then Berserk turns into a pure loss or tragedy.